Good afternoon, guys. We're going to do a little walk around in my buddy Ronnie's Coyote car. He's on his way over right now, so we'll see you guys as soon as he pulls in. Alright guys, so this is Ronnie's car. It's a, what year is it? 2013 Coyote car, obviously a 5.0. So tell me a little bit about it.
13 Coyote, California Special. It's got the GT350 wheels on it, the Roush axle back exhaust.
It's a nice car,
yeah,
really clean car. For being, you know, what is it now, 6 years old?
6 years old. It's actually my first Coyote car. I've owned a bunch of Fox bodies and stuff like that, but I've never...
A lot of Fox bodies.
Yeah, a whole lot of Fox bodies. I've never owned anything this new before, so it's new to me as it is, you know, anybody else has recently bought one.
Now guys, it is a little bit dirty right now. It's usually not like this, but we've had some nasty weather here with it being winter and raining and stuff like that. So, it is a little dirty, but it is a very clean car, as you can tell.
For you guys that don't know the difference, some might, and I might look stupid, the California Special is a little bit different than the regular GT cars, with the front lip and the fog lights being in the bumper instead of up on the grill, and it's got the the running pony over there on the corner of the grill and stuff. I'm not sure 100% on the matte black on the hood, if those come out standard on the regular GTs or not. And obviously it come out with the 373s in the rear. That was a standard thing on the California Special cars.
Yeah, what were the normal GTs? 320 or 331s? That's what they were. Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Which a 373 to me is a lot better gear, especially being a 6-speed.
Yeah. What drew me to the car was the GT350 wheels on it. I think that's what makes the car. I didn't even know that's what they was when I went and looked at the car to buy it. A buddy of mine that actually sold me the car told me what they was. But the interior is pretty much like a 03, 04 Cobra theme. The seats are with the suede interior or inserts.
Now sadly guys, it is, as you see, an MT82 car. But we won't hold that against him. He likes driving stick.
I do. I'm a stick guy at heart, but looking back on it, if I had to do over again, I would want it automatic.
I mean, you can't deny them 6R80 and 10R80's performance. I mean,
no, you can't.
You really can't beat them. I mean, like we've talked about before, you know, stick's a lot of fun to mess around, do stuff like that. But I mean, if you're doing any kind of serious racing, the automatic really is the way to go. But Ronnie likes his stick cars.
I do.
I mean,
it's fun, you know, going through the gears and you controlling what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and Ronnie isn't your typical Mustang driver. You know, no crowd jokes.
No. I try to stay away from now.
Now this does have the, I don't know if they all do, but this does have the sequential taillights, right? Like
yes,
when you turn your turn signals on and stuff?
They all did from, I think, 11.
Oh, okay, did they?
10 or 11.
I didn't know if the base had those or not. Exhaust is pretty big.
Yeah, it's still got pants on it.
So it's a stock exhaust to the axle.
To the axle and back. Yeah,
it's pretty loud for having mufflers and cats and everything still.
Yeah, I thought about putting, X-pipe on it or something like that and do a cat delete, but I don't think I want it that loud because it actually is. It sounds good as it is. I really don't need to be any louder than what it is already.
Yeah, I think it sounds great. I mean, it's quiet-ish at idle, not obnoxious, but then it's loud when you want it to be. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't know how well my camera is going to pick up the sound of this thing, but I mean, it sounds awesome.
And I love the crackles and the pops that the Roush gives off.
I'm just really surprised it's that loud, being, you know, only axle back, like I said, it having mufflers and everything still.
Yeah, I got under it the other day. We put new shocks on it the other day, and I got under it. It's just from axle back.
Yeah.
I think they're $500 and something, $525 or something like that.
It's really not that bad.
Not that bad, but
yeah.
you know, you think for $500 to
yeah.
me is high.
Yeah.
Just from you know.
From a Fox body
4 foot
standpoint, that is,
yeah.
I mean, that's full exhaust territory on those cars.
Yeah, you throw some turn downs on a Fox body and they all sound great. So.
Yeah. They look good too, though. I mean, you know, they're big. They don't, you know, I hate those ones that are, you know, a skinny little pipe coming out still. You know, this has the big tips on it that still, you know, they look great. The whole car just looks good. I mean, it's just a great looking car.
We actually wrapped the rear deck lid thingamajigger here.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Looks sweet. I like that in carbon fiber.
Yeah, it don't look bad. I mean, it could have been a lot better than what it turned out, but
that looks pretty
first
good.
Time,
yeah,
I ain't never done it before.
Yeah.
You know.
Now the windows are tinted on this, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're tinted all the way around. I'm not sure how dark they are or anything like that.
The back's pretty dark.
The back's pretty dark.
So this, it's kind of hard to tell on. Yeah, you're not gonna really be able to know. Kinda. That's probably 20, I would say.
Yeah,
but I
like
mean,
it's
backs.
not. It's not 35% like.
No. The back's pretty dark.
Yeah, the back's pretty much black like limo tint.
You want to pop the hood? I mean, it's stock, but we can show them what a Coyote looks like for the people who've never seen one. I'll let you go ahead and pop it. Know exactly where it's at under there.
What you call this is a piece of automotive history.
Thing looks like a big block.
Yeah, it does. The heads look so wide on them.
Dude, they're huge.
Man, them things look like they're about to put across.
So now, obviously, that's another thing too. I don't think, almost positive, these don't come on a base GT car.
I'm not sure on that.
I didn't think they had strut tower braces on them, unless that's aftermarket, maybe even on this, but I'm not sure. But now, as I was going to say, with this, you know, as everybody can tell, it being, you know, you want to put this up so you don't got to hold it. As everybody can tell, you know, it's basically bone stock minus a couple bolt-ons. What are your plans for the car? Do you have any? You want to leave it stock?
I would like to, you know, coat air intake and tune. I ain't gonna go too crazy with it because I just, you know, I ain't got that kind of money anyway.
Yeah.
One day I would like to pro charge it maybe with this, you know, like $7 grand. But like I said, I ain't got that kind of money.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. You know,
and it is your daily. I mean, you're not trying to make a race car out of it, something that's going to be unreliable.
You know, throw some long tube headers on it and get a tune on it and, you know, drive it.
Yeah.
And take it to the racetrack.
Something to play around with, but still be reliable. This can become the race car if you ever get a different daily or something. Then we can go wild with it.
Yeah. Be cool.
The headlights, I think, are one of the coolest.
Standard projector.
Yeah.
Style headlights.
With it being a California special car. Just a clean car. I mean, like I said, with it being, you know, 6 years old now or whatever, it's in great shape. How many miles are on it?
80
something.
80 something. It's like not really high, but
not
ain't
really
low either. But
I mean, ain't really high if you figure, you know, what is the national average? 12,000 a year or something, and it's 6 years old. It's under the average,
12 or
so
15 or something like that, I think, for around here.
yeah. Well, I guess it's not under. It's probably right at about the average, something like that. Not high miles by any means.
No.
And this one, surprisingly, you know, for being a Gen 1 Coyote, you know, a lot of them had that tick issue and stuff.
And this one don't.
Yeah, I've never heard this one have any weird noises that people complain about with these Gen 1 cars.
And with the, like you said earlier, it's got the 6-speed transmission. That's the only really fear I have of the car. I don't like sit and think about it every day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you hear these horror stories about them,
Yeah.
won't go in gear, and it has locked me out. You've been with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it. It's kind of weird. I mean, I've seen people talk about it. I don't really remember I don't know if it was a clutch issue or if it was actually a transmission issue.
Doing research on. There's another guy that does COYOTE reviews all the time, and he's got one that's got like 700 or 800 horse, and he was on there stressing it is a clutch
See,
issue.
that's kind of what I thought. I thought it was a stockish clutch issue.
Ford needs to do something about that.
And I believe even the new, 18s and stuff with the MT82 do the same thing. Ford has never fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
After these came out in 11, they still haven't addressed that issue.
After it's paid off in a few years, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. It depends on what all I do to it, and stuff like that. I would like to upgrade and maybe get one of the the 10-speed automatics. I hear they're a lot of fun. I've been watching some videos on them, and they look a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't really care for the front end. I like the 15 to 17 more than the 18, but I like the 10-speed and the 18s.
Now see, the 13 and 14 are my favorites.
Yeah. They were mine.
I think they are getting too round.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything is really... we
Everything's...
went to that stage where everything was boxed for a long time.
Yeah.
Everything looked like a Hummer.
Mm-hmm.
And now everything is going really round.
Yeah. Everything's starting to look the same nowadays. I mean, it's not just, Mustangs and Camaros, people don't want to admit, they kind of look similar in ways, the body shape of them and stuff like that. Even the new trucks and stuff. I mean, they're all starting to look the same. I mean, it kind of sucks.
But my personal opinion, this is the best looking Mustang of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I do like these. I didn't like the 15s when they first came out. I thought they were hideous. I was mad that they got rid of this body style.
Yeah.
But then over the years, they kind of grew on me. And these had a 6R80 in them too, the automatics. It was always the MT82 and the 6R80s until 18. They did that 10R80.
And yes, this car does have the live rear axle that everybody's so terrified of, and
I'd prefer it. I think they're stronger.
Yeah, they're strong. And
if you want to drag race, I mean, some of them guys, they don't like that kind of stuff. They like road course and everything, which an independent rear is better for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But for me, my personal preference is drag racing. I would prefer, I had an 03 Cobra. I didn't really care for the independent rear. It kind of scared me. I was always afraid of it breaking, trying to launch it on a sticky tire or anything like that. I'd prefer the solid rear axle, which I wanted to do to the Cobra, but that car's gone, so it was fun while it lasted.
Oh yeah, it was a good looking car. Hey, yeah, you hear these guys talk about, I've seen it on YouTube a million times, oh, you don't want these live rear axle cars, then you hit a bump going 70 miles an hour, if you don't know what you're doing, it'll throw you and you'll wreck and die.
Yeah.
Well,
the issue is people don't respect the car.
And that's why people wreck these cars.
Yes.
Is, you see it at Mustang Week when there's 200 crashes.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, look out, crowd, here comes the Mustang. And it's not really, I mean, it is the driver, but sometimes it's not the driver, too. You have to respect them. But these cars, even bone stock, you say, oh, it's only got 400 horse,
but that's still a lot for, a car that costs $30,000 brand new.
Right.
I mean, you go 10 years back, what made that kind of power? Mustangs were making half that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a lot of power. Yeah.
It's still getting away from
Yeah.
people. A lot of that's got to do with the track control. You know how you can turn it on and off.
Yeah.
And double tap it and put it on sport mode.
Yeah.
Or you can hold it down for 5 seconds and, you know, it go completely off.
Yeah.
Well, when you just hit it the one time and it turns it, you know, off or whatever, and you go to jump on it and you grab second gear, the car starts walking, and then all of a sudden the suspension on the track control is trying to straighten the car back up.
Yeah.
And it overcorrects it.
Yeah.
Well, then the driver overcorrects that,
And then you just shoot.
and you shoot to one direction. It's
Yeah.
done it to me. That's how I can explain it. I know better than I wreck the car.
Yeah.
But I see why people do wreck them.
Yeah. And like me and you have talked about before, a lot of these accidents, to me, are carelessness. A lot of them are kids that I don't believe are ready to be behind the wheel of, you know, a 400 horse car.
Absolutely.
They jump in it, want to show off for their friends, and next thing you know, they're off in a ditch somewhere. It's kids that aren't ready for something like this. Now, I'm not saying I'm not trying to sound like this is a ton of horsepower or anything like that, but it is still a pretty good amount of power in a lighter car.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, that's respectable.
cars nowadays are getting insane. I mean, you got Hellcats, you know, making 700 horse stock, Demons 800 horse stock. You know, the ZR1s make what, 750 stock or whatever. I mean, it's a cool time to be a car guy, girl, whatever, you know, right now with these
Honestly,
horsepower
I've
wars.
said it a million times. I know you probably heard me say it. No, Mustangs aren't the fastest cars in the world, and I mean, you gotta watch what you roll up on that's 4-door next to a stoplight nowadays, because you'll get, you know, tore up.
Yeah. You know, CTSV, if you don't know what they are, it looks like it could be a normal Cadillac with grandma driving the thing. And, you know, next thing you know, that grandma car just put a couple buses on you in your brand new Mustang or, you know, whatever. Yeah.
Make you want to sell it.
Yeah. And you just don't know anymore. And especially, you know, not even newer stuff like that. I mean, you got guys out here now LS swapping with big turbos on them, you know, anything. You don't know what is fast anymore. And it's not always you pull up and you hear the cam chopping. Some of these cars are like quiet and will blow your doors off. It's crazy. But I think we've pretty much gone over everything. I don't want this video to be too long. I think I'm going to end it here, hang out with Ronnie for a little bit. So you got anything else you want to say? All right. All right, guys.